Let's head to the wilderness with the Disney World Dad's Guide to Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground opened in 1971, shortly after the Magic Kingdom opened in Orlando, Florida. It consists of cabins and campgrounds. It is located on the shores of Bay Lake, very close to the Magic Kingdom. There's boat transportation to the Magic Kingdom that I will show you all about, and it is known for its rustic outdoor theming that puts you right in the wilderness even though you are very close to Walt Disney World. All right, let's dive into the resort. This is Reception Outpost. It is essentially the lobby. You'll notice that there are some restrooms to your left, check-in desk to your right, lots of rustic theming, a little seating area over here in the back left corner for kids to watch TV. I would say it's pretty small compared to other Walt Disney World resorts. I guess you're going to be spending lots of time outside here, so you might as well get started after check-in. To your right is an ATM machine in case you need one. To your left is a small, quaint seating area. Like I said, pretty small compared to other Walt Disney World resorts. This is where you pick up your golf cart. This is something that you can do on the Disney World website. It is not a requirement, but it is heavily associated with the experience of the cabins, and also it's a pretty spread out resort, so I highly recommend it. I will say, even at check-in, though we ordered in advance, there was a line and it took us a long time to get our golf cart upon check-in. At checkout, all you do is drop it off right here in this yellow box. You don't have to work with anyone else. That's on the other side of the reception outpost that I just showed you. Like I said, the golf cart experience is very near and dear to Fort Wilderness. People decorate them, people have fun with them. We had a lot of fun. My kids thought it was a ride and I really enjoyed it. This here is the airport shuttle just on the other side of Reception Outpost that I just showed you. There's a seating area, some vending machines, and this is where the buses pick you up to take you back to the airport. We took Meadow Connect for the first time. Highly recommend. Pretty inexpensive, and my kids thought it was a ride, and they got us there pretty quickly. On the other side of the shuttle is this view of Tricircle D Ranch, which I will talk about soon. Also, in this same area next to Reception Outpost is where you can have your luggage stored or have things delivered if they don't deliver straight to your cabin. It was pretty easy. All I had to do was ring the bell, and the cast members came and helped us. All right, let's do a room tour. Now, we stayed there in an older cabin just before the brand new Disney Vacation Club cabins premiered at Fort Wilderness, which started on July 1st in a sort of phased-in approach. So I'm going to show you what the new cabins look like. You can look at the older cabins or get a longer tour of this cabin in my other videos on my channel that I will link in the description. Anyway, these new DVC cabins on the outside don't look as rustic or original, but they are really nice. Notice the hidden Mickey there. Updated appliance, lots of nice details, lots of lighting that definitely stand in contrast to the more closed-off, darker, older cabins. Fancy new appliances. You can get a pot of coffee or just a single pot of coffee, of course, with your Joffreys. This main living area contains a lot of large windows. You'll notice that from the exterior that there's lots of new open spaces. Patio furniture that is definitely updated with some nice Mickey touches. Some art that harkens back to some older Disney cartoons here that I was told about by a cast member. And yeah, bigger beds, it seems, and here's the one bedroom. This resort is unique in that you do get a separate bedroom. There are bunk beds in there, so you might have to share the space with your kids. But still, it's a separate bedroom. The dad and me noticed immediately that these opening spaces are much larger than the older ones that my kids were staying at. So I would not feel comfortable with my younger kids staying there, but your kids may older or your mileage may vary. There's some Chip and Dale art in the cabins that is also updated. There's also Donald down there in his tent. There's lots of storage. There's lots of innovative, smart use of the spaces. These designs are meant to sort of recall to some Disney characters. You'll see Mickey, you'll see Pluto, you'll see Minnie down there. Lots of Disney touches, even though it's updated. There's also some space on the other side of the bed with a little charging nook. That is not something you get in the older cabins. And yeah, something that I definitely appreciated. There's some extra thermostats to have different rooms for temperature control, a vanity outside of the bathroom with more storage, and an updated bathroom. Oh, there's also some Chip and Dale art with some archery details on it that you can do at the resort. Updated shower, updated bathroom. I know that a lot of people are going to miss the older details and touches of the cabins that made you feel like you were actually staying outside in the woods. But the interior of this, I think, will sort of exceed people's expectations. I was definitely impressed by them. Let's talk about Pioneer Hall and food at Fort Wilderness. Pioneer Hall is sort of the hub of the resort, but it's not located by the entrance and reception outpost that I just showed you. It's actually located sort of a distance within the resort on the shores of Bay Lake. Pioneer Hall refers to this long building here that actually has 3 separate places to eat. The first is Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. It is a musical show that involves an all-you-can-eat dinner that goes on several times a night. You have to make advance reservations to attend. Like I said, it's all you can eat. Really exciting. People really love Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. The second is Trails End. Trails End is the main quick service dining option here at Fort Wilderness. I will show you the inside, but before I do so, let's take a look at Crockett's Tavern. Located on the other end of Pioneer Hall is this lounge/bar. It is partially outside with this walk-up window. Here's a quick look at the menu, but also you can access it from the inside of Trails End, and I will show you how they are located right next to each other. From Crockett's Tavern to my left is where you can park your golf cart. To my other left is a playground and Settlement Outpost, which is one of the shopping locations that I will get to eventually. Anyway, nice rustic theming. You'll notice how the theming here sort of aligned with the older cabins. Once you walk in, you'll see to your left, that's one of the doorways to Hoop-Dee-Doo Review, and you'll see the quick service seating areas. It's pretty large in here and it gets really busy. This was very early in the morning. You can order from right here at the cash register, or you can get quick service food from this pizza counter. They also have other types of foods you can get, and an ice cream location and a sort of a little coffee bar that wasn't well advertised in my opinion. Just right there to your left, they have specialty coffee. Lots of things you can quick grab, lots of treats, things unique to this resort. You can also get a little meal for your kids there. I'm always on the lookout, or a little celebration cake that I think is a really cool idea without having to sort of pre-order it. You can also get fried chicken and other resort specialty items like this bread here. Easy, grab it and go without having to wait or sit down to eat. Now I will say, also just over here to your left is where you can get your beverages. You can get your Disney cup and get it refilled there, your refillable mug if you choose to do so, or get water, at your discretion. This is some more of the seating area. And just to your left here is where you will pick up your order if you do a mobile order here for Trails End specifically. Like I said, Crockett's Tavern has this indoor seating area out there. Right in front of you is the outdoor window that I just showed you earlier. It's pretty large once you get inside, but it's kind of connected to Trails End, which I think can be a little confusing for some people who hear Pioneer Hall and all these different restaurants, but don't realize they're all in the same building. There is an arcade here. I will say it gets really busy and popular. I think it's because it's a moderate resort and it's just so family friendly for kids of all ages. But it's actually bigger than it looks. If you walk into this back area, you'll see more games and things to do. I always like when there's an arcade here, and I think it's a very nice touch, but it's kind of buried in the back corner here, so next time you visit, make sure you check this out. Also, it is one of 2 arcades. I'll show you the other one later on in this video. If you walk just out here, you will see Bay Lake. This is where the water taxis pick you up to take you back and forth to other resorts on Bay Lake or the Magic Kingdom. And yeah, it's pretty nice here. I really enjoyed the use of the space. You never really feel too crammed in at this type of resort. It's just really big enough to have a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, here is the playground. It's on the other side of Pioneer Hall. You can get here pretty quickly after parking your golf cart. And yeah, my kids absolutely loved it. And it was one of the busiest playgrounds I've seen at any Walt Disney resort that I've been to. So just heads up, lots of kids, lots of fun. That is Settlement Trading Post. I didn't get a lot of video in there when I was shopping because I had my kids with me, but it's one of the 2 places to shop. This is Fort Wilderness Landing. It is just close to Pioneer Hall with the Settlement Trading Post behind me. The beach is known as Clementine Beach as well. This is where you can watch the nighttime spectacular Happily Ever After that happens at Magic Kingdom. It's also where you can watch the electrical water pageant, which I will talk about soon. Lots of seating areas, which all got really full just before the fireworks show. I will say that. Here is a map of the entire resort. We are located just at the top there right now by Bay Lake. You can also go out on boats and go fishing and have a lot of sort of little excursions. And if you were to do so, this is where you would do it. This sign was cool to show you what fish you can fish for at Bay Lake. And it is from this dock where you board these water taxis that will take you to the Magic Kingdom or take you to Bay Lake Area Resort. I will talk all about that here later on in the video. Okay, so let me show you how you can watch Happily Ever After. As you can see, I came back later on in the evening to test it out. The fireworks were already happening. It got really full in this area, which I think was really exciting. One cool thing is that the closer you get to the beach, the louder you can hear the music. They have it on speakers and they pump it in just the way they do in the resorts located on Seven Seas Lagoon. They're a little bit closer to the Magic Kingdom. This right here is what makes this resort truly unique. Before they became DVC villas, it was a moderately priced resort, and I hope it stays that way for non-DVC members. I'm saying all this because it is pretty affordable within the Walt Disney World sort of scheme of prices. And to be able to watch the fireworks without having to be inside the theme park or in the hustle and bustle of the crowds, I think is really special and a huge perk to staying here. Also, there's the electrical water pageant. This is one of my favorite things to do at Walt Disney World, and I have a separate video talking all about this and showing the entire show if you're interested. It is a nighttime show that happens on Seven Seas Lagoon and right here on Bay Lake. And Fort Wilderness is one of the very few resorts that gets this show for free every single night. Starts at 9:45, and I highly recommend. If you know me and have been following me for a while, you know I'm going to talk about transportation. And Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort excels here because of this water taxi option that it offers. Like other water taxis around Seven Seas Lagoon, the guide is to look at the color of the flags. The blue flag here is going to take you to Bay Lake Resorts. So that is Disney's Fort Wilderness Lodge and Disney's Contemporary Resort. Remember, if you were staying at Bay Lake, it's right next to the Contemporaries. You can also get there too. The green flag is going to take you right in front of the Magic Kingdom. This is a very relaxing, spacious ride. It was never super packed coming to or from Fort Wilderness, and I timed it because that's what I do, and I have a whole video ride through of this relaxing journey. It only takes just over 11 minutes. There is Bay Lake in the distance. Here you are crossing over the road, which I love seeing right next to the Contemporary. This option gets you to the Magic Kingdom really quickly while beating the crowds. You can feel the breeze and the wind in your hair and just watch the monorail go by, see the Disney World resorts, and then also see the Seven Seas Lagoon area resorts and navigate in between them like we were doing here. We were heading to the Grand Floridian Cafe for dinner, so we took the water taxi from Fort Wilderness to the front of the Magic Kingdom, and then we got on the monorail here, got on the resort monorail, and it quickly took us in front of the Magic Kingdom, through Bay Lake, through the Transportation and Ticket Center, past the Polynesian, and finally to the Grand Floridian where we can enjoy a Father's Day dinner. To get back to Fort Wilderness, we just did the whole thing in reverse. We were able to take the monorail, take the boats. Again, you can navigate between all of these resorts while staying at a relatively moderately priced resort. Totally worth the money to me. Lastly, I'm a father. I'm always thinking about my kids and how to get to and from the resorts and the theme parks. I was nervous about loading all my kids on and off of the water taxi. Luckily, our stroller, which this time was a triple stroller, fit on and off the boat without having to use a ramp or slow anybody down. Really easy. I'm not worried about that anymore, and I would totally stay here again and use the water taxis again. All right, so let's move on to the Meadow Trading Post. This is located in the Meadow Recreation Area. This is sort of the second big spot with a lot of things to do at Fort Wilderness, and it's also what makes this resort so unique. So, because there's sort of like two hubs of things to do. So, the Meadow Trading Post is probably the larger of the two shopping options. And I think I found more Fort Wilderness specific merchandise here, lots of Chip and Dale stuff. There's the Tervis. I actually forgot to get the Tervis on this trip, so I'm gonna have to go back. That's how they get you. But I thought this place was really spacious. I think they had a lot of unique options that made them, like I said, feel unique to this resort. And there was lots of food options here too. So compared to the is it Settlement Trading Post over there by Pioneer Hall in the sort of settlement area, I think I'd prefer this shop just for its size and its availability and the options. Like I said, lots of things that fit with the outdoor and sort of summery vibes of the resort. They also had a lot of dog friendly stuff to get. Dogs are allowed at Fort Wilderness, so they're one of the four. This is one of the four Disney resorts at Walt Disney World that allow dogs to stay there. There is an extra fee there to do that every single night, so think about that cost if you're planning on doing so. But because it's so outdoor and spacious there, I think it'd be a great place to bring a dog on your trip if you're interested in doing so. We don't travel as much with our dog anymore because it's just a hassle with the three kids. But anyway, we actually have a few of these that we got from Disney's Hilton Head Island. So I was thinking of completing the set, but we flew this time, so we didn't have enough space. But yeah, I really like the options here. Like I said, of course, my kids liked everything here. And yeah, if you're going to only shop at one of the two locations, I would pick the Meadow shopping option. So let's move on to more of the Meadow Recreation Area. Just behind the shop here is this bridge. And you can see to your left here the Meadow swimming pool. It is good sized. There is a slide there and a really fun splash pad right here in view. My kids really enjoyed swimming there for a long time. I will say it is spacious. There's lots to do, but there are no towels here. So that's a huge heads up. They do not provide towels at this resort. So be prepared for that because most other Disney resorts do. There's the second arcade option that I was talking to you about earlier. I did not check it out because for timing reasons. There's the Meadow snack bar. Not my favorite food to eat. I will say that. I know it's a theme park. I know it's a resort, but I think the options there need to be updated because they were not my favorite compared to other Disney resorts. Behind the pool, you will see these tennis courts, a huge open area, just a field for activities. There is a volleyball net, a large spacious playground that was not very busy during our stay. So I have 3 kids and we totally took advantage of this. And I feel like it should be more advertised that this is an option here because the other playground close to the Pioneer Hall area is sort of teeming with kids all throughout the day. Just on the other side of the Meadow swimming pool is Chippendale's Campfire Singalong. There's this sign here so you can't miss it. This quick walkway. You can park your golf cart here if you're driving one. And yeah, there is the Chuck Wagon over here too where you can get some snacks. Oh yeah, this is also where they show the movie Under the Stars that all Disney resorts do. So if you're looking for it at Fort Wilderness, go to wherever the Campfire Sing-Along is and you can find it. Like I said, there's this walking trail right here in this sort of like mini amphitheater setup. People were lined up pretty early because Chip and Dale actually show up for portions of the Campfire Sing-Along. Now, I will say this started at I think 8 o'clock. And it's kind of late to keep our kids out, but we did it because we were on vacation. Mostly a little bit older kids there too. My kids are still kind of young. Here is the stage setup. That's where they perform. Like I mentioned, there's the Chuck Wagon. You can get a lot of little treats and things to eat, but most importantly, s'mores kits because there's a fire pit nearby for people to make s'mores for the Campfire Sing Along. So yeah, we went ahead and got some Mickey ice cream bars because hey, we're at Disney World. It's the summertime, and we thought, why not?
They are. Folks say they are the cutest too.
Then Chip and Dale showed up and they got to walk out with the family, which I thought was really cool. I will say this, we kept our kids up late for this. I'm glad that we did it, of course, but just a heads up, Chip and Dale do not stay on stage for very long. So they came and said hi, introduced themselves, and then it was mostly the singer who did a great job. I thought he was funny and I thought he was entertaining, but we actually left a little early in their performance because our kids were really tired and we thought we had seen it already, but if your kid's a little bit older and you're not worried about bedtimes, this is a really fun option. Moving on, let's talk about Tri-Circle D Ranch. Okay, so just some quick history. The people who raised horses at Disneyland, and they were the only people to ever live on Disneyland property, actually came and started Tri-Circle D Ranch here in Orlando, Florida. So a lot of cool Disney history. This is unique because there's actually 2 locations. This is the Trailblaze Corral. This is right next to the Reception Outpost, which, as you'll remember, is the entrance to the resort. So if you're looking to do horseback riding, not pony riding, there's a big distinction there. You come to this location. So yeah, funny story. Even though we did our research and I dedicate this account to talking about Walt Disney World and how to do Disney World, we actually showed up here thinking this is where we could ride the ponies, and we couldn't. The cast members were really friendly, totally understanding, and helped us find the other location, which I will show you here shortly. But yeah, this is just beyond the bus stop. It seems like it's really fun. We didn't really get to explore here a lot because it was pretty hot outside and we were trying to get to the pony riding, but it's right next to the entrance to the resort and pretty easy to find. So let's talk about the stable. This is the other Tri-Circle D location. Remember, there are 2 locations. This is close to the Pioneer Hall section or the settlement area by Bay Lake that I showed you earlier. This is much larger, a little newer, and I think that's a hidden Mickey up there, or is it too out in the open? Let me know if that constitutes a hidden Mickey. This feels bigger. You can get a lot closer to the horses and their stables. There are lots of little displays of facts and things about the use of horses at Disney parks that I found really interesting. So for you Disney nerds, you can get a little history while you're walking around. This little sign will show you that here are the pony rides. It's $10 for 1 lap, $15 for 2 laps. And yeah, it was it was pretty hot that day, and we had a bit of a 10 to about 15-minute wait just to pay. And I think it's because the cast member was orchestrating the other rides just out in that area. But yeah, just build that time in if you're gonna be with your kids on a hot day. This is my second child riding the pony. My kids absolutely loved it. They wanted to do it all day. Again, not terribly expensive. Not something that you can do at other Disney resorts. It makes this really unique. It is the first time my kids got to ride a horse, and we just loved spending the time outside and doing these really unique activities with them at this resort. So I highly recommend. So, my quick thoughts on the cabins. You can call me a convert. I was nervous to stay here. I was worried about how spread out it would be, and getting my kids from location to location and trying to have fun and just enjoying our time. I'm used to other resorts, especially ones on Seven Seas Lagoon that I really like, or in the Epcot Resorts area. But I was surprised at how easy it was to get along here and enjoy these really unique things. Stay outside, be close to the parks, and just try some experiences that you can't find anywhere else. I am already planning my trip back, and I really can't wait to explore the brand new cabins. My kids ask about it literally every single day, and that's how you know it was worth it. If you were on the fence, I would say go ahead and cross it and stay at the cabins. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing.